What's up, Soul Warriors? Welcome to Winning Wednesday Live with LC and you. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. And no, it's not gratitude. It is actually, are you possessed by your thoughts? How are your thoughts shaping your reality? And how in the world can you begin to take control of those thoughts and create a new reality? Create a new agreement with your life and who you are and what you want out of this life. So much of our knowledge has come from what we have absorbed from others. We are born into this world as beautiful, love, pure consciousness, and immediately, depending upon either the gendered box that is checked on our birth certificates or who our parents are, if one's absent, if both are there, if they are in addiction, if they have their own issues and traumas, all of that stuff then starts being put upon you. And it starts being described to you what's expected of you, either from, again, gender, from who you are, what your external family unit is like, and we no longer really know the truth of who we are. And I am grateful to say that we are beginning to move in different directions. But again, that is the gift for so many of us in recovery, that deep healing recovery, that we can now start taking off the masks and the outfits of who we think we're supposed to be, who society tells us we're supposed to be. And we can really start moving through all of those different agreements that we make in our young lives and up through our experiences and start to actually realize who we truly are and start living a life that we enjoy here now without having to wait until some afterlife. We can actually begin to shift those perceptions, shift those belief systems, and come to know that we are valuable, that we are fully capable, and that we are love incarnate. So we're also today going to have my amazing wife do the drawing for Sunday's broadcast live giveaway. So we had 177 people on live with us, and all the names are here in this great little bowl. And my wife is going to come through right before we end our show today, and she is going to draw the winner, and I will announce that winner then. So guess what? You see that marketing ploy? You have to stay till the end. If you have to go or for whatever reason, and you happen to be the winner of Kareth Foster's new top 15 best-selling book, You Can Be Happy or You Can Be Perfect. You can be perfect or you can be happy. What? Anyway, it's a signed copy and we will get it to you. Don't worry if you have to go, but try to stick around. Okay. Well, if you guys are ready, you know that I am ready. Let's get on this Winning Wednesday. What's up, beautiful soul warriors? I hope you had an amazing, amazing weekend. I did. Just recovering from all that, has been going on in my life, all the turmoil from last week of moving from our place and just going through. Let me tell you something about trauma. And I love having a trauma mentor, to tell you the truth. Um, a trauma coach in a lot of ways, because she was able to really give me some insight yesterday, because I've been just worn out. And she reminded me that, we experience trauma in our lives, and the trauma doesn't actually go away. It just becomes transmuted into, and integrated into our lives, especially when we're working through it and working on that deep healing of that trauma. And, I was telling her, yeah, I'm just really worn out. I mean, I feel mentally, physically, emotionally just exhausted. And so I was really resting this weekend. And she was saying that the nervous system gets very exhausted when you go through the old, when you go through traumatic things, and it brings up that old trauma response, but you choose differently. See, that's what we're going for here. It's not that we can ever forget the things that have caused us harm or trauma in our lives. But what we do is we integrate that into making different decisions upon our responses to it, and putting new emotions in place of old emotions, the emotions that really come with agreements that we make about ourselves. Those old emotions in active addiction are, I'm just not, I'm no good. I can't beat this. This is all I know. I'll never live a better life. I mean, this is it for me. And we lend ourselves in with those thoughts. And when we think those thoughts over and over and over again, they become marinated down into our soul. And when they become marinated down into our soul, they become what's called belief systems. And in everything we try to do, these invisible belief systems come up in front of us, and they start reading off all the reasons why we can't. So if we want to get into recovery in active addiction, that old belief system of I've tried before and failed, I'm just not strong enough, that life doesn't look fun to me, I'll never get to have any fun, I'll have to lose all my friends. I mean, all those things, that's those deep down subconscious belief systems that invisibly come up in front of us and create like this structure that we can't see past. And the beautiful part of those belief systems is that they are changeable, that we can change them. But then we have to start with the root causes of those belief systems, which are the thoughts we think most often. And the only way to begin to shift a perspective or a belief system is to first become aware of the thoughts that make that. We have to become aware of the thoughts that we're thinking most of all, because they are important. They're very, very, very important into how your perspective is going to be about the life that you're living. Now, every single one of us on earth has been presented with an amazing opportunity in 2020, and it is still going on right now. We have had so many opportunities to have our true belief systems flung in our faces so that we can either shove them back down, or we can look at them and go, okay, well, that's not serving me. So if I believe that everything is bad, that the world is coming to an end, and everything that as we know it is over, and everybody I know is going to die, and I'm going to get this sickness and all of that, that makes for a very scary existence. And I say to that, how in the world does that serve your ultimate purpose and your happiness. Because regardless of what's going on externally from us, the responsibility and the ability to be happy always, always sits right here. Regardless of what's going on out here, it sits here. And yep, that's a very big responsibility to actually take on. It is. But what we got to know, and it's a beautiful thing to take on, because how many of us have counted on people and things outside of us to create that happiness? And then I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you been let down? Another human being can never, ever live up to your happiness because they cannot achieve it. They're not living in your reality to know what it is that you need every minute of the day. And when we place all the responsibility upon someone else to create in our reality, we are let down every time. And then we make judgments right then. I'll never find love. I'll never find happiness. I'll never achieve these dreams. And what does that lend itself to? Does that make you want to get up out of bed every day and keep pushing forward? No. It's precisely the reason that when the choice came to me that says, hey, look, man, you're either going to have to decide to go away from your family and continue on this using road until it ends abruptly, or you're going to have to figure some other stuff out, because we can't keep stabbing at sobriety without changing anything in here, and especially not here. And I want y'all to know this secret right here. It starts here, and then it moves down into here. Your heart don't have to be right to start changing your life. Your mind has to get right, and it will eventually move into your body, and then it will eventually seep down into your soul until before you know it, you are a different person, and you are believing different things about yourself, about life, about recovery, about health. I mean, all of us coming out of active addiction, we didn't care about our bodies. Didn't care. You know what I mean? Most of us were, hoping that it would just give out anyway so we could stop the struggle. We were taught that we had no control, that we were just this big out of control storm, and we felt that way, and it was real to us. Okay? Don't think for 1 second that I'm telling anybody in their first day of recovery that it don't feel like that, because it does. Because we try, but when we are trying to conquer something external with only the knowledge that we have, which is when this emotion comes up, bury it, escape it, move away quickly. Your entire nervous system is saying danger, 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 danger. And your brain clicks into survival, and you go and get that thing that your body has come to believe it must have for survival today. And you get that no matter what. And there's so many processes going on. It is not a moral, moral downfall. It is not a moral or value. I don't even know the word right now. It's not a place that you are just failing. What it is it's a coping mechanism that you have created, that you believe is what is saving your life right now. And I want to tell you the truth, it just might be. But here's the other truth of this. You can change that. You can. And it starts with that moment that you say, I realize I got a thinking problem, and I need to change that. and you reach out and you start putting your feet to the ground and walking forward in that change. And one of the ways that we do that is becoming aware. You can't change something that you do not acknowledge as an issue. And one of the things that we can first begin to do is start checking in with our emotions, especially those bad ones, especially those ones that don't feel good, and start tracing them back to their roots. Did somebody say something about you or to you, and it just automatically create this thought of, of agreeing with what they've said? Because anytime we have an emotional reaction, it's because a part of us somewhere agrees with what they've said. Now, y'all know I go through people saying, things to me all the time. And for the longest time, I felt like I had to fight each one of them, that I had to fight for my position of why I am, a divine creature just like you. I felt like I had to fight that because a part of me was dealing with my own shame that society had already placed upon me since I'm 4 years old, and realized that I was different. See, immediately when you don't see other people in the world like you, this is why it's so important for people in recovery to step up and let themselves be seen and heard. Again, whether it's at the bus stop, in your kid's school, you see some other mother and you feel that about them. You see them suffering. You get close to them. You tell them your story. We need to see that, because that disease of addiction and trauma and all that stuff isolates you. And it's the shame in it all that isolates you. We don't want to be seen. We don't want our shame seen, because I think shame is the root of the majority of evil that we experience, that we see in our world right now. And that's the root of it all. And so it's important for us to be transparent about our I heard this statement this morning, to be transparent about our suffering. It's very important for us to be that way, because you never know who's watching and who's fighting for their own life in amongst that shame-based nature, that needs to see someone else say, I get that. I've been there. I'm going through this, or I've been through this. And these are the ways that I begin to transmute that. And so we got to know that in order to start to regain control of our own thoughts, we must first become aware of them. And don't be afraid to write those things down, because your thoughts affect your perspective on everything. And your perspective actually dictates your reality. It's how you see your reality is how the rest of it's going to go. If you see yourself as not lucky, if you see yourself as can't catch a break, if you see yourself in some other way than the limitless, powerful human being that you are, then that is what you will experience, because that's the lens you are looking at things through. I lived in that lens, and I didn't know any better. Being victimized from very young, it becomes what you know. And it's hard for you to see past it anywhere. And I was really, really blessed to have had a couple little glimpses in there, because I was introduced to psychiatry and counseling in my early teens. Not that I took to any of it, but I was still learning in there. So I was able to see little glimpses. And so, we have to understand that it is not the external reality that is building our perspective. It is our internal perspective that is building our external reality. And we got to learn to change that. And yep, you guys know I love gratitude. I will stand on gratitude as a life-changing action every day of the rest of my life because it was the action I stood on to begin to change my perspective. I had to start realizing that along with the law of attraction and all of these universal laws, there was also something called the law of polarity, which means that there can't be light without dark. Everything has its equal. Everything has each end of the spectrum. And if we stare at darkness, we'll see everything in darkness. But light wouldn't even be possible if we didn't see the contrast of darkness. Light would just be, and we wouldn't know the difference. And so many times when we're going through things in our life, it comes to show us how great life can be and how wonderful places in our lives really are. Because we don't often become grateful for the greatness in our life until we start experiencing the dark. We don't recognize the light until it becomes time for the dark. And so it's okay for us to have light and dark. We're not trying to get to a place where we never experience any trials. What we're trying to do is go through those trials and make a different choice. Make a different choice. And you can always, nobody has the power to do this but you. In your own mind, when you are going through things, you and only you have the power to back yourself up a bit and check your perspective. Check your thoughts about the situation. Check your belief systems about it. And make sure that you are taking action every day to introduce new thoughts and new knowledge into your space. I listen to affirmations. I sleep with affirmations. I am so involved in living a life that fits my definition of success, of freedom, of peace, of love, and of joy, that I do everything and anything it takes to reintroduce that into my mind. Because somewhere along the way, whatever you believe about yourself, you started hearing sometime way back when. And just over repetition, you began to believe it. Then your actions started to reflect it back to you. And when that starts happening, that's when your reality reflects back to you what's actually going on within. And so wherever you are in your reality today, take a step back and realize that your external reality is a direct representation of what's actually happening on the inside of you. And that wherever that is, the only power to change that lives with you. And where you gain your power from, whatever the label of your higher power, your divine truth is, that's where you can draw your strength from. Because that is internally at the core who we all are. And I love this recovery journey for allowing me to get so deep in the darkness, so deep in the suffering that I had but only one of two choices, and that was to either just give in once and for all or flip on the light switch. I spend every day of my life doing every possible thing I can to make sure that I flip the light switch on in every place that becomes dark in me, because that is what success and joy and happiness means to me. So now what does that mean to you? And how will you today begin to change your reality by changing your thought life? What are the things, what are the consistent thoughts that plague you every single day? And how can you begin right now to change that, to shift that? Your reality will not shift overnight. It didn't get this way overnight. It will not come out of it overnight. But start celebrating your smallest victories. Every time you don't react in the same way, or you don't have the same thought processes towards the same occurrence, and please believe those occurrences are going to come at you. Okay? It's what we've created. It's going to come. How else will you know how far you've come if you don't experience those same things? I love you guys, man. I love you guys. Okay, let me say some good mornings. Then we're going to let my amazing wife stick her hand over here on in this bowl and pull out our winner of Kareth Foster's new best-selling book, You Can Be Perfect or You Can Be Happy. Alicia Lee, good morning. Bobby Wall, so good to see you. Haley Moore, Vonnie Von Max, I love Vonnie. Carissa Harlow, good morning. Noah Gill, what's up, brother? Joni Faulkner, Stacy Hatton, Tim Camps, Mary Rossi, Martin John, I love Martin John. Lisa Vargas de Jesus, I love for you too. Robert Enriquez, awesome, awesome, awesome. If I haven't seen you and you're here, Jenna Ruth, good morning. If I don't see you, it's just because StreamYard only shows me so many. And I say to you, good morning. Have an amazing and beautiful day. So, babe, of course she's not in here. I asked her to be in here at 5 minutes till, but that would just work too well if she did, right? So it looks like it's going to be me, and I just about dumped all these in the floor. Hey, number one, let me tell you guys how hard it is to write down 177 names and put them on small little pieces of paper and fold them up into a bowl, especially when you're doing it outside in the midst of tropical winds. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Okay, here we go. Looky here. Yvonne Max. Yvonne Max has won the beautiful, amazing new book by Kareth Foster, You Can Be Perfect or You Can Be Happy. Yvonne, please DM me your information again so I can get with Miss Foster and we can get this signed copy of your book out to you. It's Yvonne Max. I love Yvonne Max, man. I love each and every one of you so, so much. Yvonne is actually one of my admins for the Hope and Recovery Network group page. She runs that. I mean, sight unseen. I am always so busy. It couldn't be what it is without Yvonne Max. So I want to congratulate you, Yvonne. You are absolutely just one of my favorite human beings, as all of you are, and you're going to love this book. For everybody else, head over to Amazon and grab this book. $17.99. You can spend $17.99 changing your life today. Okay, head over there and leave a review. And when you leave a review for Miss Foster, make sure you tell her that LC and Recovery Soul Food sent you, just to give her that shout out, because we really thank her for coming on our broadcast. And she's just an amazing human being. I will always thank my brother, Martin John Garcia, Recover Yourself podcast, for making that introduction. He's an amazing human being as well. If y'all don't know that podcast, you better get to know it. Recover Yourself, available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Just find that young man. He is doing amazing things in this world, especially in this recovery world, right? All right, y'all, guess what? January the 30th. That's right. January the 30th, we are kicking off our Healthy Sober Relationship series. It is going to be a 4-part series, and we are going to deal with, really what it's about to live a healthy relationship, not only with yourself, but now with the people in your lives in recovery. And we all need that. We didn't come to active addiction because we were, really healthy, whole human beings. We came because we had some heartaches, we had some suffering, and maybe we had learned some different things that did not lend itself to, amazing relationships. So this is going to be with Amy Guerrero, my amazing, recovery coach and entrepreneur, business advisor. I mean, she's just I call her a guru. She's a relationship guru. And so y'all probably know who she is. She's been on our show before. So that is going to be Saturday, the 30th. We'll either do it between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. I'll get back with you guys about the time, but y'all get ready for that one. Bring all your friends. We'll do more giveaways for those shows as well. Yes, absolutely, Yvonne. It's coming to you. We are going to start doing our next giveaway will be a Recovery Soul Food Podcast t-shirt. And you guys, y'all keep tuning in. I get to live my dreams because you guys show up and commit to living your dreams. So thank you. I am always so grateful for all of you. So until Sunday or Wednesday, whatever comes first, I will see you guys then. I love y'all so much. You are amazing. Y'all have a great day.